Good evening, everybody. This is Barb at Highland Pines Rabbitry and Fiberworks. This is my third attempt at this video, and if it doesn't work, I'm done. Anyway, here is Cinnamon, who's the most rambunctious of all of my girls. And today she surprised me with 8 little bunnies. Come here, girl. Come here. Oh, that's a good girl. That's a good girl. I don't know whether you can see them. They're wiggling around in here. They're very, very tiny. Yeah, there they are. A few different colors. We'll see. Since she's never raised a litter, I'm not sure whether she knows to take care of them. The last time she had babies, she didn't cover them and they didn't survive. But I thought I'll give her another chance. And here's Miss Blackie enjoying her dinner. And I'll show you Blackie's kits here in a few minutes. And here's Miss Loppy. Loppy was bred but didn't take, and she doesn't want to lift for the boys. So if anyone's looking for a Lop pet, she's very calm and just a beautiful rabbit. And here's Betsy and her little family. There's 3 of them in here. Betsy usually has 3 to 5, so that's kind of normal for her. And she is a California. And here is Toasty, who's also eating and is also pregnant. So let's go into the back and we'll see what's going on in the nursery. So there's Vanna with hers. There we go. Vanna is almost ready to go back into her own cage. And these little guys will just continue to grow and be happy. There's a nice mixture of colors. They're all doing well. I'm getting ready to feed and water them. There's Cookie, our happy big buck. He's looking for food. And there's trusty old Bruno, also looking for food. And there's Butterscotch. And Butterscotch had 6 or 7 this week. And let me see if I can see them. She's resting, which is really good. And she is much calmer when she has babies than when she doesn't. When she doesn't have babies, she doesn't want me near her. So let me just see if I can. She pulled a lot of fur today. Even these are 3 days old. Isn't that one pretty? They're all pretty though. I say that every time. There's a little itty bitty black one way back in here. There he is. So there. Let me just see if I can get the hair off. There he is. Very, very good. So they were sired from Cookie over there. Cookie is the son of Butterscotch. There we go. I'm sorry if I move things around and you can't see. Again, I need to fill our water bottles, so we buy these bottle things, and it's just an empty pop bottle, soda bottle, and they work really, really well. I can fill them up, and they usually do a day, maybe even a day and a half, depending on how hot or how cold it is. I fill the big jug, and then I fill the bottles with the funnel, because it's really hard to put the bottles up to the hose and try to fill them. So let's take a walk. Working on my garden. Nice picture of the columbine. I got some weeding done in here, but not a lot. That's not my main concern right now. This whole area in here will be zucchini with sunflowers across the back. And this here will be part of my herb garden. with my glads across the back. It gets full sun. Oh, and there's my chives. It's just all through the lawn over here. Our lawn was cut this week, which was really nice, but he never comes back up this far. There's just too much stuff in the way. So I thought I'd bring you over and show you our chickens. I showed you the chicks when they were only a day old or 2 days old. But here they are now. That's a big water jug. So that gives you an idea how big they are. And this is the one we call our little white hen. We don't know yet whether it's a hen or a rooster, but it's quite a bit smaller. And then the really, really dark one over there. So they're in an old dining tent that has holes in it. We bought a new one to use this year. But the chickens are Nick's domain. And this drum was all weeds. So they cleared all the weeds. And this drum is what I've set up for some of my own plants. So my peas, the daikon radishes, I'm not sure. I think I originally planted those for greens. A few beets, those again for greens, some onions and peas. So let's take a walk over here and see the rest of my gang. Aren't they funny? Yeah. So again, they're waiting for food and they're waiting for water. But let's see if I can open it up for you. There we are. And then I'll move the tractor so that they have fresh greens. Yeah, there you go, guys. The big brown fuzzy, light rusty fuzzy one and the multicolored fuzzy one I think are sold. So that's really good. But they're growing and they're active. And I will move that tractor when I'm done. And then in the other tractor, there we go. So these are Blackie's kits. And you can see they have really grown. The other ones over there are Toasties. So these are mostly white, but a couple of black ones. There we are. So yeah, they're out of food, they're out of water. And you can see here, this is where the tractor's been. So they take the grass right down. There's not a lot of grass in here. It may look like it, but it's mostly weeds. Mostly. And I'm using the shears to cut some of the long grass there that I feed the rabbits that are in the front barn. So let's take a walk down and say hi to Nick. Nick's been busy planting. And it is literally down the slope to get down here. And I'm just wondering, I'm looking at the apple blossoms to see if any of them set fruit, because the tree was covered this year. Both this one and the one at the back. There's our garlic. And up here where the holes are, that's all corn. Where those slits are, that's gonna be carrots. All of this will be done this week. And Nick is poking holes now. And you've planted beans here, right, already? That's what he's doing now.
I've got 2 complete rows and this one's almost complete.
So we're doing square foot gardening for the first time. So this is quite different for us. So he's got this interesting contraption. He has another contraption that pokes the holes, and then he drops the seed in the funnel, goes down the tube into the hole. So how much fun can you have, right? Right, Nick?
Yep.
Yep.
This is the punch planter. You can make one, a tool ferrule, a cold chisel, and a good handle. And it will punch a hole in your fabric like that. Twist it as you come out, you have a hole.
A hole ready to be planted. So up at the top of this row here will be tomatoes. And the top of this row will be peppers. And in between all of that, I have some basil, marigolds, and nasturtiums. And there are the onions.
There's one bean that got away.
One bean that got away. Now
Yeah.
what do you do?
Well, I'll put them in there later.
There's the chicken tractor that he's using as a tool shed for the moment, I think, or something.
That's a chicken tractor deluxe.
Yeah.
Too heavy to move.
We found the birds were getting too big for the tractors, so that's why we put them in the tent, and we're thinking of moving the tent so they can have some fresh grass. And you can see how nicely kept the lawn is back here. We're so thankful for Mark, who cuts the lawn for the cemetery, and also for us. You can see where he can't get under. We do have a small lawnmower that we'll use, and we'll get it out and do the rest here. This is our potato bed. Those are potatoes, those are weeds. So there's potatoes planted throughout this, but there's a lot of other stuff coming up through. So it's gonna take a bit of work, but it's coming together really well. So I thought I'd just walk around here for a minute. There's the church and this cemetery. Such a place to be peaceful and find respect. And these markers are for parking, but they're also for the snowplow. You can't go back any farther than that. The lilacs there almost done. There's a bush over there that's still going strong by the looks of it. And there's a little bit of a memory garden. I'll just keep going here. I don't think there's anyone who's actually working on it anymore, but that's okay. I don't want to walk too fast because then it'll get all blurry. And you can see this is all part of the church lot and the church itself. So we have pretty quiet neighbors mostly, except for the trucks and the four-wheelers. And our front lawn was cut, but what you see is mostly cut dandelions and other weeds. And then, where is it? There it is. I'm not really sure what those are. They look like daisies, but they're coming up pink. Well, I don't really know. And this was in the front bed when we moved in. It's stunning. And over here, some lily of the valley. I don't do a lot of work out here. That's stinging nettle. You know how I found that out. Yeah. And our hummingbird feeder. So I have only one other thing I wanted to share with you this evening. I received a gift last week. 3 bags full. Sheep wool. All ready to be washed, sorted, washed, picked, carded, spun, dyed, whatever. But that's going to be on my list of things to do. So as I come back around here, and we have a little bit of noise in the parking lot because there's a youngster on a four-wheeler. I think there's probably more than one of them. Here he comes. This is not unusual. The chickens are all excited. There we are. So So I think that's it for tonight, folks. I have to go now and continue feeding my friends here and getting them some fresh water and just generally taking care of business. Hey, come here, you. Come here. Look at how pretty he is. Look at the eyes. Hello. Hello. And he's got such nice, soft, furry fur. I don't handle them a whole lot because they're not pets for me. Hi, Vanna. So these guys here and Butterscotch all get fresh greens as well, as it's good for them. Anyway, I hope you've had a really good day and that you've enjoyed this little bit of a tour. It's kind of farm life at its rawest, you might say. But I'll leave us with the picture of the columbine. I hope that your evening continues well, or your day, depending on when you're watching this, and may God bless. Bye for now.